Stop blaming Terrance Williams for the Dallas Cowboys' loss to the New York Giants by 1 point. The fact of the matter is that the Cowboys had no business playing the Giants in such a way that it came down to that one part of the game. Okay, let's take this another way. Suppose Williams had went out of bounds, the Cowboys come out, they miss the field goal. So they blame the kicker? They blame the kicker? The fault lay at the feet of the Dallas defense. Because the Dallas defense did not stop the New York Giants running game in the third and fourth quarter, especially the fourth quarter when it mattered the most. They were getting gashed up the gut. Again, they were getting gashed up the gut by Rashard Jennings and the Giants' unique combination of zone and full blocking schemes right up the middle. And the Cowboys, for some inexplicable reason, elected to attack the Giants' running offense with an Oklahoma defense that the Cowboys really don't have the proper personnel to play. You need a big nose tackle, someone that's 350 pounds that can really... I'm not a favor of two-gapping, but if you're going to put the nose tackle in the middle, you put him in three technique on the side and then have him just rush in and draw a double team, but then have him rushing through the gap with the intent of downing the running back or getting to the quarterback and creating a loss, just causing havoc in the middle. If you're not going to do that, you're playing a four-man front. Two tackles. Plugging in the gaps, not two-gapping, plugging in the gaps. You say I'm getting technical here? I am. Because there's a specific way to stop that run defense. It wasn't like the Cowboys' defensive linemen were blocking sleds being pushed around by the Giants. No. Holes were open because of the way the Cowboys designed their defensive technique. That was the key to the Cowboys' loss to the Giants. It was also because it was the key to not stopping the Giants' offense. If you don't stop the Giants' offense, you can't get the ball back into the hands of the Dallas offense and the very capable rookie Dak Prescott, who I say, well, I can't quite say that. I would say he's a candidate for Rookie of the Year, but right now you got to put Carson Wentz right at the top because, look, Ezekiel Elliott had a poor day, really, 51 yards. Jared Goff's on the bench. Dak Prescott had a good day, but he lost. And here's Wentz, who performed well, albeit against the Browns. But he performed well. The Browns could get hot and get better. Still early. But the point that I'm making is, back to the Cowboys. Jason Garrett blames Terrance Williams. Well, he didn't get out of bounds, and Garrett's got this look on his face like, doggone it. If he had gotten out of bounds, we could have won the game. Don't know that. Don't know that at all. What Garrett should have said is, I'm not going to place this game on the hands of any one individual. This was a team effort, and it really started with our defense, and we've got to get the running game fixed so that we don't get gashed like that again. That's the answer that Garrett should have given. But to blame it on Terrance Williams, that was awful. It wasn't his fault. It was not Terrance Williams' fault. The fault was the Dallas defense. The fault was the coaching. The fault was the scheme. The fault was the defensive formations that were used. All that put together. Football is more complicated than people realize, to the point where you can't always blame it on one guy. Like, for example, since we're talking Cowboys and close losses, Super Bowl 13, which at this point in the game was close, or becoming close, when the Dallas Cowboys were coming back against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Cowboys had this famous, I believe it was a 3rd and 8 on the Steelers' 4-yard line or 6, and Roger Staubach called this really nifty, neat play action that had the tight end Jackie Smith wide open down the middle, and Roger Staubach kind of softballed the pass to Smith, and it went lower than it should have and hit Smith in the lower bot, and it bounced off, and boom. And Smith was so upset, he quite literally horizontal his body, like, ugh, because he was so upset that he didn't make the catch. But even with that, it wasn't Jackie Smith's fault. It was the fault of the Dallas flex defense not stopping Franco Harris when it mattered the most. You could say, hey, I think it was Fred Swearingen, the official, that got in the way of Charlie Waters when he could have, no, Cliff Harris, when he could have made the tackle on Harris. Didn't do that. Didn't happen. But, I could say, hey, the Cowboys should have been, instead of flex weak, they should have been in flex strong, and they should have had the safety up closer to plug the hole for Franco, that Franco ran into. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. They were caught out of position, and Franco ran for a touchdown. I could say it was really the fault of Tom Landry giving up on Tony Dorsett's great runs to start the game, and that terrific game plan where the Cowboys were gashing the Steelers defense with the Dorsett runs. I could say that. I could say it was the Cowboys' fault for Coach Landry not discovering a Bill Walsh-style passing game and mixing that in with the nifty runs and multiple offense that he had installed. Can you imagine that kind of offense then? Whew. Scintillating it would have been. I could say that was the reason, but it wasn't one person's fault. That's a scapegoat. That's wrong. Terrance Williams is owed an apology by the Dallas Cowboys ASAP. It's not his fault. Not his fault.